record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Jaquan, or Jaquane, is it? Jaquan Walker, 25-01309. Appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Haley Fortuna-Gil on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney John Abbott with the Public Defender's Office representing Mr. Walker. He's standing here next.
Okay, Mr. Walker was scheduled for a preliminary examination today. I'm looking at the notes here. It looks like the offer previously was an open alcohol container. No, open container in vehicle, 90 days with HIDA. That was the previous offer, but there was a different offer today, correct?
It was, Your Honor.
Oh, which was?
Any misdemeanor we could think of with HRPA, and I thought of trespassing.
Okay.
Rejected that offer, and we were ready to proceed with the preliminary.
Okay, that's what you want to do, sir? Is that a yes? Okay. You can call your witnesses.
Okay, Your Honor. The people would call Damon over to the stand.
Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. State your first and last name and spell both.
Damon Pulver, DAMONPULVER.
You can proceed, counsel.
Mr. Pulver, can you tell me what you do for a living?
I am currently a police officer.
And where are you a police officer?
I'm a police officer for the city of Lansing.
Okay, and how long have you been a police officer for the city of Lansing?
I have been a police officer for about 5 years.
Okay. And all of that time was with Lansing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And officer, were you working on the date of May 4th, 2025?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you come into contact at all with, I'm sorry, is it Jaquan? Jaquan, okay, it's important that I get that right on the record. Jaquan Walker, or did you come into contact with Jaquan?
Mr. Walker.
Mr. Walker.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Thank you. And can you tell me a bit about that interaction?
Yes, so on that night, I was working in a road patrol aspect, wearing my full departmental uniform, driving a full departmental car. And I was dispatched out to a fight call at Sir Pizza, which is located near the intersection of Turner and Cesar Chavez.
Okay.
When we arrived on scene, other officers were there before me, but the fight had broken up. But the staff there had closed down the bar and was getting concerned about crowds starting to gather in a parking lot across the street, which is associated with a park in the area.
Do you know the name of that park, by chance?
So it's the Fish Ladder Park. It kind of goes by a couple of different names, but Frankie Fish Ladder Park.
Okay, do you know the address?
Off the top of my head, I don't recall.
That's okay. Fish Ladder Park, is that in the city of Lansing?
That is.
And is that in the state of Michigan, county of Ingham?
It's in Ingham County, state of Michigan.
Thank you. Continue.
So I started patrolling the parking lot, looking for people that were just hanging around the parking lot, trying to avoid anything that was going on.
Did you see anybody in that parking lot?
Yes, I did.
And so who did you see in that parking lot?
I saw Mr. Walker in the parking lot.
Do you see Mr. Walker here in the courtroom today?
I do.
Can you describe an article of clothing that he's wearing for the court?
Black Ace Ventura t-shirt.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the people would request that the record reflect that Officer Pulver has identified the defendant as Mr. Walker.
Any objections?
No objection to the identification.
Identifications noted.
Thank you. So how did your interaction with Mr. Walker proceed?
Yeah, so when I went into the parking lot, a big area of concern was that, again, people were in this parking lot, and at that time, it was around 1 o'clock, later than 1 o'clock at night, which is far past park hours being closed.
When you say 1 o'clock at night, you mean 1 a.m.?
Yes, yeah,
Awesome.
1 a.m., sorry.
No, that's okay. Just want to clarify for the
Working my night shift,
record.
So 1 o'clock in the morning, I apologize. Which in the city of Lansing, there is a local ordinance that prohibits people and vehicles from being in parks and parking lots associated with those parks. So there was a civil infraction occurring in my presence, so I went up to the vehicle.
Objection, Your Honor. It's a legal conclusion.
Objection sustained.
You went up to the window and what occurred then?
So as I'm approaching the vehicle, I noticed that there was a sole occupant in the car that was in the front passenger seat. And I noticed what I would describe as a furtive movement reaching down towards the floorboard of that area. So as I went up to approach the car, I identified myself as a police officer. And
Were you wearing your uniform?
Yes, I was.
Your fully marked LPD uniform?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you were in a fully marked LPD police car at this time as well? Well,
Correct.
you exited the,
Yeah, the police car was a little ways away. but
okay,
It was in the area.
okay.
So as I walked up to the car, I again identified myself and, let the occupant know why I was stopping and talking to him, and requested their identification.
Okay, and how did Mr. Walker respond to that?
Mr. Walker refused to provide his identification. When I first made contact with him, I asked him to roll the window down, but the car was not on, so he opened up the door slightly. When I told him he was being detained, and that I needed his identification, he closed the door on me. I asked him several times to open up the car door again. He was not opening up the car door, and I just kind of went into an interaction where he was not responding to the commands I was asking for him to identify himself.
So how did you proceed?
So eventually, one of my partners was able to find an unlocked door from the vehicle and opened it up. And we began having further conversation with him that way, telling him that he needed to step out of the car and identify himself. Eventually, he did open up the car door more fully this time around, and I was able to see further into the car and noticed a open container of alcohol in the vehicle, which again was just a furtherance of more of a reason for contact and wanting to get him out of the car. So we asked him to step out of the car. He refused to do so, which eventually led to us having to put our hands on him to pull him out of the car, which he tensed up when I grabbed onto him and wasn't fully compliant with my commands to step out of the car.
Okay, and were you wearing a body worn camera?
I was wearing a body worn camera.
And if I showed you that body worn camera footage today, would you recognize it?
I would be able to recognize it, yes.
Okay. Well, I have it. I have the Zoom room. Thank you, though. Your Honor, at this time, let the record reflect that I am showing defense counsel what it's not marked, but what is proposed as People's Exhibit 1.
Okay.
And this is, yeah, this is this officer's body worn camera footage.
So noted.
Hey, hey, what's going on, man? So we got
Nobody over here. I've been in this car this whole time since I've been in the party. I don't want to talk to you.
So hold on. Whoa. Hey. You're in a park after dark. I need you to identify yourself. So hold on. You are currently.
Why are you opening the door? So
Yeah, well.
Whoa,
You ain't listening to it. Okay, listen. Hey, relax.
bro. Hey, what y'all
You gotta relax for a second. You gotta relax for a second.
He can't do
Hey,
that.
I got my
You know
bosses.
that.
My bosses are right
That's
here.
against the law.
My
That's
bosses are
against
right
the
here.
car door shot.
Relax for a sec. Relax for a second, bro.
Bro, that is against
So
the
we got
law.
two things going on here, right? I need you to listen to me for a second. Okay? So two things.
Against the law.
No,
Y'all are all
I'll tell you.
violating the law. I hope y'all know that.
No,
too.
can
I
you-
hope y'all know
no,
that.
can you
too.
listen to me for a
'cause I'm
second?
not- I did not talk to y'all.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out if it'll let you mute your thing, and because I don't know, I can hear the feedback over there.
Maybe.
Not done
No, here's the
anything
deal.
threatening.
Here's the
I'm
deal,
not
man.
a
Here's the
suspect.
deal.
I'm not none of that.
Here's the deal. You
I
are
don't wanna talk
currently
to
you are currently in a parking lot loitering.
Waiting on my
Okay,
friends. I'm
and then
not
on top
loitering
of that,
anything.
and then
I
on
was over
top,
there.
hold on, listen.
I was over there at the party. I
And then on
walked over
top of
here,
that,
and then
this
you all tried
parking
to
lot
talk
is
to me.
associated with a park. It is a city lot,
You're
and
talking
you
to
are
everybody.
currently in
You're
a
talking-
park after dark, right?
Okay. You're talking
So
to
I
me,
need
but
you
you're
to
not talking to
identify
everybody
yourself.
else.
I need you to identify yourself.
No, I do not need.
I do this one car at a time, man. You're the one car that I stopped so far. I promise
Dude,
you, I'm going to do it to
Talk
everybody
to
else.
everybody else.
I'm
and don't
about
talk
to,
me.
but you're the first one.
The only one in here doing this, bro.
Everybody else is sitting in their car. I just got back to the car. Y'all, you know this. You just tried to talk to me 8 times.
So here's the deal. I need you to step out of the car, or else we're going to have to use force on you.
Why? For what? What have I done?
I'm telling you.
What have I done? Am I a suspect?
You're in a park after dark and you're loitering in a public
Bro,
lot.
I'm in the park. Hold on, bro. Let me take off my ski mask because it was cold outside. Hold on, bro. 'Cause y'all are tripping. I'm not gonna lie.
So at the end of the day,
not
man,
that
it
deep.
could
You're
just
making it a big
be,
deal.
it's just an identify, make sure you are who you are. Maybe
What do I have
we
to
write you
identify
a
myself?
warning ticket for being in
Sir.
the park after dark,
Sir.
and that's it.
Yeah.
Alright, so what do I have to identify myself?
And then there's also an open container of alcohol.
My car. What the?
Doesn't matter. You're next to it. I got 3 violations on you. Loitering, park after dark, and open container of alcohol. That's 3 violations.
Just go ahead and step out of the car, man. Step out, brother.
Hey, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Y'all cannot do that at all. That is
Yeah, we
against the
can.
law.
Yeah, we
My
can.
life, that is against the
Step
law.
up. Just step
You're
up.
violating the
Step
law.
up.
You're violating
Step
the
up.
law. You're
Step up.
violating law, and you're. Hey, do not touch me. I'm getting out the car willingly, and do not touch me
Okay,
at all.
then
Do not
listen
touch
to
me.
us. Step out.
Do not let me walk over there.
No.
Walk.
You're gonna
Yes,
step
because
out
you
of the
guys
car
are
now.
crowding me. I feel uncomfortable.
Stand up right now.
You
I'm
don't
going to put my hands
understand.
on you. Stand up right now and put my hands on you.
Stand up right now. You're putting. You're recording.
Absolutely am.
Step out
All
of
right,
the car.
step out of the car.
Watch out.
Step
I
out of
said
the
I'm
car.
getting out of the
No,
car.
okay, step up.
I'm getting out of the car
Step
willingly.
up.
Get. Bro,
Step
get
up.
away from me. Get away
Yeah.
from
Step out of the car.
me. Get away from. Bro, I don't
Step
have
up.
no space. I
That's a
don't have
lot
no
of.
space.
That's a lot.
Whoa, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Step out.
Whoa.
Step out.
All right, first off, I'm too tall. First off,
Out of the car.
put
Bro,
your foot down,
step
man.
out of the car.
Bro, let me. All right, bro, y'all doing too. I'm not forcing. Bro, watch
Out of the car.
out. Watch, bro, watch out. Y'all are bugging. Bro. I'm not. No, I'm not
Stop
being
resisting.
detained.
Stop
For what?
resisting.
What am I
You're
being
tensing
detained
up.
for?
You're tensing up.
Bro, watch out, bro. I'm not being detained for nothing, bro. Bro, no, I've been talking Garfield this whole time, bro. Watch out. I'm not, bro. Watch out. Hey, bro, somebody grab my cousin, bro. Bro, grab Tone. Bro, ask for Tone in the party right now. Ask for Tone. Bro, ask for Tone in the party right now. Ask for Tone. Put him in the car once you get in. No, what am I being detained for?
Right now, it's our no too.
Please.
Listen to our commands at all. We gave
I'm
you
not
no
listening to your commands, sir. You asked me what I was doing in the parking lot. Did y'all not just ask me what
Dude, you need to stop.
Bro, everybody else is in the car. You have not done this to anybody else. You do not have my consent. I'm not under arrest. I'm being detained. Bro, watch out. That one's open, isn't it? Bro, where is my cousin at, bro? Watch out, bro. Get off of me, bro. Bro, watch out, bro. What is it? All right, bro. Bro, put my hoodie on, bro.
No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon. And thank you for being here. All right, so this parking lot at the Breaking Fish Lair, the south end of the parking lot is abuts up to the park, right?
That's correct.
And the north end of the parking lot opens onto Cedar Chavez,
Yes. Yeah.
Turner Street,
Yes, sir.
and there's businesses open there. The Pizza Hut was open. The pizza.
At some points throughout the night, most of the businesses around there are closed, but the Sir Pizza around there was open up until around that.
Yeah, and then also a little bit to the east, the Unicorn. That might have been open still.
It's been closed for a minute.
Is it unicorn?
Is there a bar up there called the Unicorn?
There was. It's not
Oh,
open anymore.
not open anymore. All right, so anyway, and there was a lot of cars in the parking lot,
There were, yeah,
and they were probably customers of the pizza place. But we don't know.
unknown. So
But based on your analysis, every car in that lot was violating the law,
yeah,
if anybody was there, even though it was a city lot and there's businesses open on the street.
so since it's associated with a park, then yes.
By associated, you mean the south side of the parking lot, of what's the park?
The signage has the park in front of the parking lot before you enter into it, so I would consider it that, yes.
All right.
You said the signage has the park where, and then I didn't hear what you said.
I'm sorry. So there is a sign that says Brennicky Fish Ladder on the east side parking lot entrance. It's like a big sign that kind of. flags
Okay,
into
it says called the fish ladder, and so the fish ladder is considered a park?
Yes.
Okay,
Right, but there was no evidence from his behavior, or from anything you observed, or any of the other officers observed, that he was actually in the park.
I didn't see him physically like in the grass of the park.
Right, he was in the car when he got
He was in the car in the parking lot, yes,
in the passenger seat.
in the passenger seat. Correct.
Okay. And I heard somebody, I guess, what the videos. Um, And oh, as far as that ordinance goes regarding the park, it's a civil infraction, isn't it?
That is correct.
Okay. And also, there was a couple of points in there where he said, "Let me get out, I'll go over there. Let me get out, I'll go over there." Do you remember him saying that?
I do remember him saying he was going to say.
And so he was willing to leave the park. If he had not wanted to leave the park, that would have been a misdemeanor, right?
That is correct.
Okay. So you thought he was guilty of the civil infraction of being in the parking lot after dark.
Yes, that was one of the infractions. Yes.
And the other infraction was
Loitering in a public lot and then the open container.
loitering. How many seconds do you have to sit in your car before you're loitering, you know?
I wouldn't say that I know the seconds. From when I reviewed my police report, I remember observing the car for about 4 minutes in the parking lot.
Okay,
So-
so he might have been there for 4 or 5 minutes. Okay. And in your mind, that was loitering?
In my eyes, sitting there not being there for an apparent reason, that would have been one of the reasons.
So waiting for the other guy to come out and get in the car and drive away wouldn't have been an apparent reason?
It could have. I mean, I don't.
Okay. So at this time, you mentioned there was lots of people leaving the pizza place and getting into cars.
My recollection.
And were they all being similarly ticketed for the civil infraction?
If I would have done the same thing with him, I would have moved on to the next car. So I would have done the same thing for everybody else in the parking lot.
So this one happens every night up there in the whole time?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Okay, you're right.
Justice System.
And there looked like there was lots of policemen there.
There were, yes.
Right? Can you give me an estimate of how many officers have responded?
That were responded out there. I don't know entirely. I remember there being around about 5 or 6 specifically in this interaction.
So like 5 or 6 guys helped pull him out of the car and put him on the ground?
We never put him on the ground.
Oh, no. Okay, so put him under arrest.
I don't specifically recall exactly how many, but it was
a group effort?
A group, I would say, yes.
And so he was charged with it. You know what he's charged with?
Yes, we charge him with resisting, obstructing, and open container.
Okay, making nothing for you.
What time is this again?
This was about 01:30 hours in the morning.
About 1:30 in the morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you ever determine if someone else was operating that motor vehicle?
Eventually, there was another individual that came out and said that the car was registered to him.
He came out of where?
I don't specifically remember where. I would imagine that he came from Sir Pizza.
So I recognize that there's a fish ladder that is a park over there, but that city lot is not open for people to park in after a certain time?
So in times past, I've asked the city attorney about that parking lot itself, and they described it to me as a
You
parking.
say, can people park in the city lot after a certain time?
I don't see any posted signs that say otherwise, that say that there are or aren't.
So then does it say, no parking after a certain time?
I do not know. There's
So
not
then
any
it would be
signs.
open to the public to park there during that time, correct?
The way that I understand it, since it's associated with a park, then that would be a part of the city ordinance says the park and parking lots associated with. the
But
park.
you made that determination, not, that's your interpretation?
So it's both my interpretation and also when I contacted the city attorney, they directed me and said it was a parking lot associated with the park. And then that on top of loitering could be used for
It's
that.
associated, but it's not only for the use of the park.
I would say it's not solely for the use of the.
I know, but I park there to go into the business that's connected around the back.
Correct.
And so actually, that's where you park if you go to the business around the back. That's why the city has that there. You could pay it for a meter there during a certain time, correct?
I would imagine so. I don't park there.
But you should, I would imagine, it be policing whether or not people are lawfully parked there, no?
Would you say like issuing citations and checking?
No,
like-
you're there to see if people can lawfully park there. So you should know if they have to pay a meter during a certain time. Correct?
I would suppose so. I mean, to my understanding, the meters don't run after a certain hour. Those fall usually outside of my timeframes. I believe it's like 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon. My shift hours are strictly nighttime and fall outside of that.
Correct. Okay, so it would be city parking and a park that's connected to that city park.
I would say that'd be fair.
Okay, and so no signs posted, they say you can't park here after the park's closed.
All there being signs saying that it's restricted.
There, because there's other parks, that I'm trying to think of the park that's over off Oakland. There's a parking lot there, but there's no businesses there. It's just that parking lot. And there's a sign as you enter that tells you that you can't be there or park there after a certain time. So I'm just trying to clarify, there's nothing similar at this parking lot.
Not one that I recall. I would say the vast majority of the parks in the city don't have that. Some do, absolutely, but I would say a good amount.
Correct.
don't typically have that.
But you would agree that this is a unique location because this is where a lot of businesses and restaurants are.
I would agree that this is a unique. location.
There's a location that has events there, right across the street on Turner, correct?
Yeah, there's another, there is another bar further up. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but.
Okay, and at 1:30, there are things open.
To my understanding, it would be Sir Pizza. Sir Pizza's typically the only one that's open up late. I know that they're. To my understanding, the other bars aren't open
Okay,
as late, but
so you originally believed that this might have been at most a civil infraction. What caused you to open his door?
so the first time or the second time, or just in general?
In general,
In general, okay. So the first time, when I asked him to roll his window down, he said that his window wasn't rolling down because the car wasn't on. So I can't recall if either I opened the door or he opened the door the first time around.
okay, you can't recall, could we refresh his recollection?
Hey, what's going on, man? So we got
Nobody over here. I've been in this car this whole entire
Okay,
time since
yeah.
I've been in the party.
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
want
fair
to
enough.
talk to you.
So hold on, whoa. Hey, you're in a park after dark. I need you to identify yourself.
Are we able to go back?
Hold on. You are currently,
Annotating, so I
No problem.
yeah, well, so we got,
Pause it right there. When you said the first time, are you talking about
Yeah,
this?
I'm talking about this.
Okay. Okay, did you open his door then?
It appears from the video. I mean, I saw his hand move over to it. You can kind of see. his
That's what
hand
I,
there, so
that's what I thought too. So
I'm
I wasn't
thinking-
referring to that. when I
Okay, you weren't
asked.
referring to that one. Okay.
Okay, okay, so you can keep going.
What's going on, man? So we got
Nobody over here. I've been in this car this whole entire
Okay,
time since
yeah.
they've been in the party. No, I
no,
don't want
fair
to
enough.
talk to you.
So hold on. Whoa. Hey. You're in a park after dark. I need you to identify yourself. So hold on. You are currently.
Why are you opening the door? Sir?
Yeah, well,
No,
you ain't
can't do that
listening to
first.
us. Okay, listen.
So the back door just opened, the rear
Yes.
passenger door. Is he seated in the rear passenger door?
He's not seated in the rear passenger.
What made you open the rear passenger door?
So I didn't open the rear passenger door. That was an officer that was behind me that had opened it up.
What officer was behind you?
I believe it was Officer Traverso.
Can you back up? I'm trying to see the vantage point from the camera.
Nobody over here. I've been in this car this whole entire
Okay,
time since
yeah.
they've been in the party. No, I don't
No,
want to
fair
talk
enough.
to you.
So hold on. Whoa. Hey. You're in a park after dark. I need you to identify yourself. So hold on. You are currently.
Why are you opening the door? Sir?
Yeah, well, you ain't listening to us.
Hey,
Okay, listen. Hey,
It
relax.
does appear that someone else came- it does appear that someone else came behind and opened the door,
Yes.
another officer. And you would have no clue why that officer opened the door.
I mean, I couldn't
would-
say.
I don't want
wouldn't
you to
say as
speculate.
I wouldn't say as to why.
Okay. That was fine. Redirect.
None, Your Honor.
Any
No, thank
recross based on my questions?
you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Maybe excuse.
Thank you. Ma'am. I've already signed.
Oh, well, then you're good to go.
You can call your next witness.
People know other witnesses.
We have no words.
You can proceed to argument.
Your Honor, after seeing the proofs today, based on the evidence that came forward, that people do not feel like we have enough to move forward with these charges. And the misdemeanor attached to this file also would be fruit of an unlawful seizure. So we would ask that that charge is dismissed as well.
Case dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. We'll get you a dismissal.